During the school year, she taught English and drama in Americus, Georgia. And I said, here's a story you have to hear. I tell you, there are so many good stories that it was very hard for. She came to teach, and the principal said, there are some boys in your class that make all the teachers cry. And she went in the classroom and she saw these 4 boys sitting on the back row. And she said, these are country boys that need an education. And she said, y'all back there, I'm going to need your help. Now you come up here on the front row. And she sent all the little smart ones to the back. Now do you know how to hammer a nail? Well, yes, I help build our house. Well, I'm going to need you to, we're going to need you to be to make some scenery for this play that we're going to do. And then she said, now, and she gave them all an assignment. She sent them home, had them read something and write something. She looked, she said, now, I don't want anything, has to be an A, B, or C. We're not getting anything lower in this class. And she got these papers back. She said, my God, they were illiterate. Maybe 3rd grade level. What was she going to do? And she went home and she wrote on those papers, I'm giving you A for effort. Now you take these papers home and have them signed by your parents. These were the proudest boys. So the play they did was called Mrs. Wiggs of the Poultry Yard, and those boys helped build the scenery and everything she needed. But in the poultry yard, in the drama thing, they needed to have roosters and chickens. So these boys brought the rooster and the chickens, and they made a container for the chickens. And the rooster, when they wanted him to crow, they showed him corn, and he'd crow, and they'd feed him. And when they needed the hens to cackle, they'd take a puppy and throw it in the enclosure with the chickens, and he'd chase them, and they'd holler. There was much more going on backstage than there was on the front stage. So she had them in the palm of her hand, and hopefully they got an education. Let's see, but let's return. Oh, no. This is the best part. So the night came for this great musical show. They started her with an empty room, not a stick of furniture. And she had people bring in all their broken stuff, and these boys fixed it and built the stuff. And so she was supposed to get all the money from what she raised. The night came for this great musical show. The children had sold the tickets, and the money flowed in. I collected $176.60. So this is back in, what, 1923. I had the script and the music and the piano and a piano teacher to play. We went backstage. We were backstage and ready to start, and the principal came there and said to me, now you're supposed to give me the money you've taken in. And I looked at him and I said, this is my money. I've already bought a piano for my classroom, and I owe him $150 for that. You're not going to do any such thing. You're going to give me that money. It belongs to the school. And the man walked up to me and slapped the tar out of me right in the face. And all the cast saw it. And I said, uh-oh, it's getting rough now. Well, you can break my neck, but this money's going to pay for that piano. So I walked right smack out onto the stage in front of the curtains, and I said, well, I have some news to tell you wonderful people. And people were clapping because the children liked me so much. And he says, I'm holding the money I've taken in, and this money's to pay for the piano. And a moment ago, the principal tried to make me give him the money, and I wouldn't. He slapped hell out of me. And then the Methodist preacher got up and asked the audience to stand and pray. And he stood on the stage, and I stood on my stage, and he prayed for the people to calm down, and he prayed no more insults to the teacher who worked so hard. And he said they felt the Lord agreed. The Lord money needed to go to pay for the piano. And prayed the principal would see the light of day. And he prayed on and on and on. And after a while, he said, amen. And everybody sat down. And I announced the first act, curtain open. We put on that musical, and the principal left.